was really an infuriating experience because you're watching it and you know what the aftermath is going to be. You know, people are going to suggest, well, you need the superstar. Well, this is wrong or this is right or whatever. And I guess, you know, on the flip side, people in Boston probably could have been saying, yeah, we won, but we could have been a lot better too. But it was really frustrating to watch because I didn't think they had anywhere close to their A game. And I don't know if that was a carryover from Game 6, if it just wasn't their night, which can happen, or if maybe, you know, it was on Nick Nurse to try to spark something. And Nick Nurse has had a flawless resume here. I don't think this changes that necessarily, but he's taken some heat, you know, for not being a little bit more proactive on Friday night and sticking with this lineup. What do you look back on Friday night from the lens of Nick Nurse and maybe suggest he has any regrets or should have any regrets?
Well, maybe he goes smaller a little earlier. I think that would probably be the one thing that jumps out at me. On the other hand, I was on with Carlo and Michael this morning, and, you know, they were talking a lot about Pascal Siakam. And I just, you know, simply put, said, I mean, really, let's be totally frank here. If, you know, I mean, I look at a guy like Pascal Siakam, you know, there's a level of good, very good, and outstanding. And that I've seen from him in the last 12 to 14 months prior to Orlando. And if you just got good, you didn't even need very good or outstanding. In my opinion, if he's good, even in Game 7, even if he's just where he was all the games in Orlando, and he's just good in Game 7, they beat the Celtics. So, you know, turnovers a lot of it was self-inflicted, and I give the Celtics credit. I think their defense is outstanding. They're a terrific team. They're well coached. Tatum's a marvelous young player. On the other hand, if you're a Celtic fan, you're ticked too because you're going, you know what, we could have played better. And, you know, and here we are in the East Finals. We didn't even have Gordon Hayward, who's a terrific player. You know, so to me, I still think the Celtics have a whole nother gear they need to get to the NBA Finals, and maybe Hayward plays for them in the finals, in the East Finals. But I think the Raptors, they just didn't have enough people playing well. I mean, Marc Gasol and Pascal Siakam, simply put, just didn't play well enough. And then even, you know, Norm Powell was very, very good in Game 6. But he struggled during this series. And even if you look at a guy like Fred VanVleet, his performance was uneven. He really struggled at the rim. I thought he took some tough shots in Game 7. You know, some of it is the fact that he's looking around going, if I don't do it, who is? But I really thought, you know, if you got the ball in your hands, you got to be responsible to the other four guys on your team. I thought he took some shots that were a little questionable. So they didn't have a lot of guys that played very well. I mean, I would say Serge Ibaka, OG Anunoby, and Kyle Lowry would be players in my book that played very well. But they didn't have a lot of, you know, so, you know, they were searching for answers a lot. So, yeah, you can get after Nick Nurse. Maybe they should go a little smaller earlier. I get all that. But overwhelmingly, when I look at this roster and I look at the accomplishment of this year without Danny Green and Kawhi Leonard, I think this group overachieved, not underachieved.